Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wires Up TV for All You Can Eat Warriors, and it's great to be back after a week off, and we're feeling pretty rejuvenated and back for this big second part of the season. But my man Ash, bro, how you feeling? You're looking like you got like a bit of a top on now. It's getting a bit colder there in Aussie. How's it going? You all right?
Yeah, bro, I'm loving it, man. If anyone, shout out to the member show too last night, guys. If you tuned in today, and also some people jumped over. I was on Fanatics channel
Yeah.
last night, doing some stuff with him, and saying hello on
What do
that
you do,
side.
man? How dare you? How dare you go over to Fanatics and then tell me,
I
man?
know, I know. No, I know you're a
Nah, I'm
massive
just kidding.
supporter as well, brother. I know you're a massive supporter as well. But as I said in that, bro, I feel horrible for an Aussie to say, "Man, it's cold over here." Like, and I know I know what New Zealand's like, bro. So I'm gonna find out in August time. So I'm very, very excited for that. So
Yeah,
that's coming
bro.
up
Yeah,
very
yeah.
shortly.
It is coming up shortly, guys. So don't forget about that. A meet and greet on the 26th of July coming up, and yeah, it's building. Actually, I had a conversation with Monty today, just so for
Ooh,
we're hoping to get one of the old boys over, or just have someone over from the club. So it'd be cool, man. So that's going to be fantastic. So yeah, we're getting pumped and excited for that, man. But nah,
love that.
love to Fanatics, bro. And I popped in and saw a little bit of what you guys are doing with Anton. Anton's fantastic too. So
He's unreal.
it's great to have our bro Fanatics and you over there, Ash. And I think Fanatics isn't far off 3K, everyone. So let's help get him over the line. He's pretty close, which is a great achievement too.
100%.
Yeah, and shout out to Daniel Berry, man, YouTube member. Welcome in, my bro. And everyone else. Jazz, as always. Yeah, shout out to all the emojis we got in there. Thank you, Tans. Great to see you. Tahi, as always. Tiski, all the members coming through. Team Mackie. Yo, thank you, T. And everyone, yeah. Hey, Styles, good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Yo.
Hosea, kia ora, my brother. Yep. And welcome in, everyone. Hey, Lance, welcome in. First time posted along. Fantastic. Great to have you in the chat, Lance. Appreciate
Thank you
you
so much,
dropping in,
Lance.
man. Yeah, and it's great to have. Yeah. Yeah, that was people were disrespecting the disrespect, guys. And I said to the chat, guys, let Ash do his thing. How dare you disrespect my man Ash? He's supporting the he is not a cheating two-timing hussy. How dare you? You guys are disrespectful, man.
The one thing with YouTube, bro, that's gonna be on there forever, mate. You know what I mean? I'll be able to watch back the stream, and I tune in, brother. I always tune in.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. That's all. Okay, guys, man. Me and Ash just kind of a little bit going with the flow tonight. We did a massive tier list the other night, and I kind of feel like media's slowly picking up.
Yep.
But yeah, what do you make of? You had kind of a relaxing week, a little bit, Ash, a bit more chilled. I think we're just going to build into this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, bro. Like I've been for a little while now, I've been trying to stay real close with family and base myself down, and especially some personal stuff going on in my life. I kind of felt like I needed to spend a little bit of time close to home, and over the weekend we done our second trip to Australia Zoo. Just walked around, see the animals. If you know me personally, like I'm very easily fascinated character, so I love looking into animals and different shit like that. So that was a good little time, bro, and kicking it. We were babysitting, so good to see. Little Utter, my little baby niece. So she was running amok around the house. So yeah, it was good, bro.
Cool.
It was nice and relaxing, and I caught a lot of footy too, bro, as always.
Nice, bro. Nice, very nice, man. Yeah, welcome everyone in, guys. We're going to start off with a quick hitter, but one that needs to be celebrated. Tennis Style Smith extends to 2028. What a great story this is for a guy that's he's been in the mix since me and Ash have been streaming. He's been there doing his applying his trade in Cup. Did he play SG Ball a little bit? Oh, Jersey Flegg?
He did.
Maybe
He came through SG Ball when I first saw him. He was unreal.
Yeah, so he's plied his trade. He's come through the system, and we have our Leckers and Demetrix and those that are more touted, I suppose, more highlighted. But just underneath that has been Tanner, and to have him get that extension alongside the Labans and the Leckers and Demetrix to join that group of youth with an intention, obviously, to 2028. That means we intend for you to be in and around that top starting spot, a starting spot or bench role moving forward is fantastic. What do you make of this news? Is it warranted, and how for you, Ash, does it look for Tanner moving forward? As we look, like, what does he become? What's his potential in your eyes?
Yeah. Oh man. If you guys knew, you can go check it out on YouTube. There's receipts of it. My thoughts on Tennis Dale Smith. Coming through the grades when I first saw him at SG Ball, his movements, his defensive movements, all that. Like he's a really, really top notch player. I was kind of envisioning him to be like a future captain of the club at one point. It was one of the big calls I had early on. But he envisioned a guy that I believed like in the future, all the little things he does in his game to be a guy that could lead a pack out there and be the big man in the middle. Last year New South Wales Cup didn't have his greatest year, and I was kind of taken back a little bit by it. I was like, oh man, maybe this is one I might have got a little bit wrong, but he still shows a little bit of potential here and there. But I think he's worked really hard in his game in the off season. He's worked a lot on his fitness, which kind of took him back a little bit last year. This year he's really worked towards it, and this is what happens when you work that hard, right? You've been offered a big deal with the club till 2028, long term there, 21 years old, so still a long term to go, a long time in his career. But when you get rewarded from a strong off season the way he has, and now he's in, off the bench, he's getting really good spots now. It pushes a player to continue to work harder and harder through their development through our Warriors. So very, very excited to see the future of him. As I said, that now it's still he could be a future captain of our club. I always I love the way he goes about his business out there. Defensively, his strongest part of his game, and that can definitely grow to big leader in the middle in the future. So I'm excited to see the future with Tennis Dale Smith, especially with our other boys that we have.
Yeah, it's a great point here too from Lance. It's been a while since I've seen someone who just looked like a first grader from the start. Like Lance, me and Ash talked about this last week with Josh, about that the development is being very patient, and guys are getting the reps that they need in the lower grades to that when the point they come that they start, they're actually ready and it looks seamless. And that's a credit to firstly Tanner applying himself, but also the system that we have. It's we're really starting to produce really good first graders coming in that can perform, and I see the similarities to the definitely to the Panthers and their juniors. When they come in, they hit the ground running, and that's what we want to see, which is fantastic, man. So yeah, that's a big shout. Leadership views of him. I suppose now we're starting to really get a look into what the future is at the Warriors. What does that do for the likes of a Tom Arley now? Is he on the outer potentially, or is it still a battle for the likes of a Tom Arley? What does this news kind of do for the likes of even Bunty as well, I suppose, who's probably seeing close to the end of his contract here at the Warriors?
Yeah, it could do multiple different things depending on how they take it, right? This could obviously push someone like a Tom Arley to work twice as hard and, get back to some sort of realm of, getting into the starting squad or, be around abouts. I think a couple of injuries and a couple of things have taken him back out of that, where someone like Tanner has hit the ground running this preseason and really stepped up in some areas. So he's jumped him in the pecking order. There's still obviously the ability for someone like Tom Arley to do a very similar thing, right? And come back from what he had of this year and last year and really build off his career and get back in the frame. Someone like Bunty, I always kind of envision Bunty as this guy that I think he'll always be just a guy around the club, right? I think he'll always be the older statesman that, probably would be playing cup and kind of show the boys the ropes. I think he's the best for that, in my opinion. He seems like a really great character to have around a group. And if we ever had problems with our depth, he could definitely find his way back in there. Do I see him jumping like a Tennis Dale Smith, Tom Arley, stuff like these boys that are fighting to get back there? Not at the moment anymore. I kind of do look at him more as like a gatekeeper of, if we need him, he's there. He's going to be incredible at that. But he's going to show the ropes to these young boys and these young development, middle forwards that we have coming through the grade. I think he's the best guy for that. He's starting chance with those young boys in the first grade squad that's carrying over. You can already see the imprint that someone like Bunty Afoa has left on the club. And, we all love what Bunty has brought for our club for a long period of time. So that's the way I kind of envision it. Like, Tom, if he wants to get back into frame, yeah, 100%. Or if he just works hard and he gets another contract somewhere else, he has the ability to do so as well. But I would love to see Tom Ale probably, put his nose down and, work really hard and try and get himself back into the frame because, iron sharpens iron at the end of the day.
Another kind of sub issue, well, not issue, sub thing off of that is actually Freddy Lussick. He's, Freddie's been a guy that for the last 2 years is he's been in amongst the team and has kind of been in, around. His name's been mentioned a lot, and obviously he looks like he's kind of disappeared. Similar to Ali and others. What is that position with obviously with Sam Healy coming in and does that look like maybe it's close to the end as well for Freddy Lussick? I mean, these guys are doing fantastic stuff for us in Cup, and but you're probably thinking, man, you're still at a good age where you could probably push on and find another contract. But what's maybe the score for Freddie as well?
Yeah, probably very similar sort of vein that I kind of see. Maybe a Tom Ale in. I probably wouldn't loop him in with a Bunty Afoa. I think he's a guy that still has the ability to find a contract at a different club if he works really hard, or still be around our club as well. Though I always heard rumors around Freddie. I think coming to this season that maybe he was looking to go back to Australia or try and find another contract somewhere else. And full credit to him that he's been working as hard as he has and doing everything that is needed from him in New South Wales Cup. Like if everyone's watching New South Wales Cup, people will know he's not just a hooker anymore, right? Like he plays middle forward, he plays up front. Like he scored like close to 4 tries against, I think it was the Raiders. How many weeks to go, right? That incredible game that he had. So he's still got the ability to do that, and he's doing everything that's asked of him. To see him back in the Warriors frame, I think it's a little bit tougher now when we got someone like Sam Healy, and obviously we got Wade Egan. But let's say like a couple of those boys go down, he's still within the frame for sure. And I think that's the best thing about the Warriors right now. There's a lot of depth in these areas that these boys are still fighting for squad, places in the squad. And it only makes them getting better. Like Freddie has taken a whole new leap in his game, especially playing like a middle player. So he'll more so understand what it takes to be a middle player. When he goes back to hooker, he can understand that sort of realm. Or if he becomes middle, he can do that at a decent click. So we've just got a really good versatile piece there that we can keep for a little bit longer if he wants to stay in New Zealand. Or he can pick up a decent contract for being a player that can play off the bench and play in multiple different positions for a different club that are looking for it. The Cowboys are a bit of looking for a hooker that can do something like that. Like there's a multitude of clubs that are looking for that. So I think that's probably the track for Freddy Lussick. As I kind of said with Tanner Boyd and what he's doing, he's probably fighting for another contract somewhere else if it's not able to be at the Warriors. And I think that's the biggest credit to our system as well. Lastly, but just to put a bow on it, is that these boys are willing to stay at our club and develop in our system, and they trust our system to get the best out of them, not just for being a New Zealand Warriors player, but for being an NRL player that could get future contracts down the track. I see that for Tanner Boyd. I see that for Freddy Lussick for sure.
I just want to harp on to that last point you made, but specifically similar to Team Mackie saying that Lussick and Boyd are enjoying their footy here, and it's a testament to us. I mean, like if you really broke it down, would you rather be doing Cup here than at another place where you're really dominant? Look, we've got 9 wins straight, I think it was, and bide your time here. It's like that. It's kind of when you're in a good prison, I suppose. That's a bad analogy, but you're nearly on your way out. You're just waiting for your next transfer, and if a good one comes up, you're ready to go. But you're living in that limbo where you're like a god of your tier, and then you're like, okay, waiting for your next contract. Bad analogy, but you know what I mean. It's kind of like they're living in that sweet spot right now.
I see where you're at, bro. I see where you're at, but I think it's just really cool to see that they're just enjoying their time over here. But also these guys are proper professionals, right? Like they're proper NRL professionals. They're not just kicking stones in our New South Wales Cup team. They're performing and they're pushing our first grade squad to continue to improve, because if they don't, these boys could literally take over their spot if they weren't able to improve. And this is why Luke Metcalf's been incredible. Chanel Harris-Tavita's been incredible. Sam Healy and Wade Egan's been incredible, because these other guys are biting at the heels.
That was a bit dismissive of what they're doing. They actually are genuinely right nipping at the heels. Like I know Tanner, it's a patience game. You're gonna have to wait that bide that time. But with the opportunity comes, man,
Mm-hmm.
and you're ready to go, like it does put pressure on a Luke Metcalf, and and others. So like, absolutely, if you've got that mindset for it, bro, good things will follow you if you stick at it and show week in, week out, and who knows, he might land himself a starting gig somewhere, and that might be the resurrection of his career, or things like that for Freddie, posing new opportunities in the middle. He might become a middle kind of interchange forward for another team, which is fantastic,
Exactly.
Just quickly on this one, Buzzman, I think another brother brought up this one, but yeah, the Bishop Neal news, which was huge as well. Him and the other two Cantabrians making the signing. I think they signed till 27 or 8 as well, didn't they?
Yep, all of them 28.
Fantastic news. Again, credit to our team and those that have been recruiting. Bishop was one of the guys I saw in the New Zealand secondary schools comps early on, and was killing it at that phase, and he's only gotten bigger and stronger too.
Yeah.
But what do you make of Bishop and the I forgot who the other two were as well? That and big up everyone at Christchurch. They're producing top quality talent from St. Thomas. A lot of it. It's credit to a school that's actually just quickly before you go, Ash, but a school like St. Thomas, who isn't traditionally a rugby league school, put money and investment into rugby league, and now they've produced talent from that school specifically. They've won two back-to-back NZRL premierships, and now they're producing a new rugby league talent, which is. But yeah, speak about the Bishop, man. And what do you your thoughts on this?
Bro, like just to quickly echo on that point too, like, I'm a broken record when it comes to this. Like all the platforms we're giving to New Zealand kids now, and for them to do their thing and develop in New Zealand, not only good for New Zealand Warriors Rugby League, but it's good for New Zealand Rugby League. And what the Warriors are doing right now and their pathways and what they're doing is the betterment of rugby league in general, and it's a betterment for rugby league as an international sport for the future. And, because sure, we're going to see some of these names in the frame of a Kiwi squad, or, whatever culture they do want to represent in the future. Bishop Neal is definitely the forefront of that, right? Like, when we watched, Harold Matz this year, definite one of the biggest standouts out there. It's hard not to miss him. When you're looking at a big boy like that, throwing up goosies on chip and chases, stuff like that. But it's all the little things that Bishop's going to learn through going through his grades when he gets the Jersey Flegg, when he gets the New South Wales Cup, and, he'll learn his line running, get it a little bit tighter, but he's got all the ability. Jason Salalilu has been incredible for our Jersey Flegg side, and that enough to get into our New South Wales Cup side, coming off the bench playing middle forward. I'm pretty sure he started a couple of games there too in that 13 jersey. So incredible talent that we've found there in our Flegg side. And he's worked so hard in his game. Great footy IQ, big body, moves fairly well. He's not the hugest body in the world, but he gets it done. Just of footy smarts and just really just competing in every moment of the game. And the last one there, Micaiah Talfa. He's been in our system for a little bit now. Yeah, our little hooker that we got there. I kind of enjoy Talfa a little bit more as that, like when he comes off and he comes into like that middle forward role. He reminds me a lot of like, Brendan Smith type player, those sort of things. Can do a job in that hooker role, but I love his impact when he chooses to run first. So very excited to see the future out of him too, because he could become the future like Freddy Lussick type, that we got going there now. He could be a real solid talent in that area too. Not just in hooker, but can be a middle forward as well, and do a lot of damage. So to 2028, we're doing a lot of great contract wheeling and dealing at the moment. We locked down our young juniors and now these younger juniors. I'm excited to see the more of the kids come through our system, especially with that Harold Matz team going the way it is, and TJ Ashford and all he's doing in the junior development ranks.
That's fantastic. Just was another one. Who was the kid that scored for Jersey Flegg on the weekend? Was it a long range winger? Yeah, the winger. He was a long range try. It was fantastic.
Not Raphael Seo?
It was Raphael Seo, man.
Bro,
what speed he had! It just looked crazy the way he scored that try.
We'll touch on like our juniors and that a little bit later on, but the one I'm really enjoying is Brendan Norris. We got him from Brisbane, from memory, and his ability is top notch. And we haven't even spoken about like Seo Garley's been injured for a little bit. People that know Seo Garley know the ability that he's got. Army Tuanai, Army Tuanai, been incredible. bro. So we're doing a lot of good things in our junior development, and getting contracts like this for these young kids is just honestly, it's what they work hard for, right? And all these other kids be working hard for the exact same opportunity, and I'm sure that's what makes us a great development side right now, which is great to see.
Well, it speaks to parents see the vision
Mm-hmm.
and want their kids to because this type of contract, when you're a young kid, you got no family, you're not thinking, you probably got player agents, but they're kind of leading you through a first contract.
Yep.
It's all about, who do you want to be coached by? Who do you want to be developed? Is there an opportunity for you to get an opportunity? How does that look? And so those things are real important. Before you make when you're a bit more settled, you start to make decisions on your own and where you want to take your family and that type of thing. So it's really great to see that we are actually signing up the guys that are out and out. We know everyone can see Bishop Neal is a guy you should sign up, and that's happening. So that's absolutely awesome, fantastic to see. Really, really great to see the club's just moving in the right direction. And just while I'm here, shout out to Southside. Bit of coin for Ash's trip fund, definitely, man. Yeah, Ash gets in on Friday, I think, early that morning, Ash. Hey, and then we'll get you checked in and stuff. But man, we got to do some with all these supers coming in for pro. We got to do some activities, man. Got to try some pies. What else? We're going to Rainbow's End. But as much time as we can get, bro. Shout out Southside. They're definitely going to go straight to Ash, bro, and we're looking forward to catching up with everyone that's in the space to come and hang out with us at the meet and greet. Absolutely awesome.
Bro.
Yeah, he's going to go nuts to Rainbow's End, bro. The rides are Movie World. What's Movie World, man?
What is Movie World, he reckons?
Who cares about Movie World, bro? You know what I mean? Take me back to the rainbow. Yes. Okay. Bro, this is a kind of hypothetical, and I know you, Ash, you'll be saying, we don't need anyone. We don't need anyone. We don't need anyone. We're fine as it. But I just want to, once you give a hypothetical, but if there was, say, like, Bulldogs went for a Lockie Galvin type, kind of maybe transform their, maybe they were grand finalists, but now they might be actual premiership winning team. There's that little, if you can make a signing that takes you over the line, what could that be? So maybe if you gave me like some a one that you would love that you think would transform us to take us either from a prelim to an extra final or final to winning it, or even a realistic option as well. And mainly, if anything, what's an area that you think could be strengthened from a signing before June 30? Not to say we will, but that you'd be like, oh, actually, if I had a bit of money here, I would actually try and go get someone in this specific position.
Yeah, bro, if it was... So for me, the way I look at it is, what do we need? Like, what's a need for us at the moment? And I want to break that down to the point of, to start the season, I think, the club was chasing an outside back. And I don't think we've improved in that area of the fact of a couple of more injuries that we do have in that position there. And we go back to playing Kurt Capewell in the centres, which he does a great job there. And he is very serviceable in that centre position. But, week in, week out, we want some guys that can cover those positions. So the first names that I throw up in my head is, like, when I look around the league and who's not getting spots in their top squads and who's not getting the rubber to green into, maybe a coach is not playing them enough and giving them a little bit of a look in. But when I look at sides that are dealing with salary cap issues, the Brisbane Broncos is the first one that I just continue just to look at and seeing their talent that they have. Dean Mariner is the big name for me, especially when we saw Selim Cobbo get dropped out of the squad. I thought for sure it was Dean Mariner getting back in there and taking that spot. No, they went with Karabani on the wing. So Dean Mariner's still not in that starting side after, what he's done, mid part of the season. I was like, if we can get someone like a Dean Mariner in, people have been talking about speed for a long period of time with the Warriors. We need speed. This guy has speed, abundance. I'm pretty sure he was a Kiwi native from memory. I don't want to get that too wrong, but I think he was born No, he was born in Gold Coast, sorry, but he is a Kiwi and Samoan heritage. So
Yeah.
I feel like that would be incredible. Jojo Fafita is another one for me for the Gold Coast Titans. He is
Oh, that
getting
would be,
game time,
Jojo would be
but
nice. Yeah.
yep, for Gold Coast, they got like guys like Alan Fitzgibbon that have come over and played really good footy there too. So if they need to clear up a little bit of cap space and stuff, that could definitely be the way to go. I'm not looking at types like, I've heard the Dave Fafita shouts would be incredible, and our system has turned players around into, great players and competing very hard. Not to say I don't think Fafita does do that, but there's obviously the rumours around that. But I think the names I'm looking at is like someone like to be realistic in a way in still this fantasy world, because I don't think we do need anyone. But a Dean Mariner or Jojo Fafita, stuff like that is where I would be looking at.
That's a great shout. I could definitely see like a Jojo Fafita just making an impact. And I think it's even the 1%ers or the 2%, the 2% improvements, or just even having a quality backup. If say Roger goes down again, or Dallin, you got that just extra bit of quality.
Agreed.
And can maintain momentum. Like while the offense is improving, you need a winger that can kind of match that still. Like there's things where the train's still going. We need someone that can catch up on a horse and jump on and still move along with everyone. So, whereas you think the Morgan Harper's like, that's a guy that's lost confidence, and he's trying to rebuild his career. So, and you got Kossi, who's he's still learning his ropes and trying to build his career too. You'd love to have someone just come in and like, this is a train that's going 100 miles an hour. We want you to be able to move along. So, I think those are all good shouts. I think that the chat agrees with you on Mariner. Jesse Arthur's, Jesse's great as well. I've always loved Jesse, and I think those are actual genuine shouts, bro. Like why not? Give it a crack. Yeah,
we got a bit of money there. Not to say we want to like throw a bit of money into outside backs into that area, because I believe that there's a lot of money that gets flushed into outside backs, where we should be looking at continuing to develop our halves, giving them money, and sort of like the Melbourne Storm sort of do, and kind of focus in that sort of area. But a name I always used to throw up a little bit, because I think Manly have screwed him around this and that a couple of times, but at the moment he seems to be locking down a centre spot, and even with Tom Trbojevic being rumoured to be moved to the centres, he's not budging from what I'm hearing. But that would be Gola, Dolu Gola plays for Manly.
Fantastic.
Would be incredible as well. He's got all the ability in the world. That's more of a centre sort of look. Dean Mariner's a centre winger. Jojo can play centre wing. So these are all the types I'm thinking of that could help out in an area as well. But with saying that, and when we continue to say that, we've got a lot of really great talent that we have right now that are doing very good things. But if we're living in this world of like, hey, we can go to the market and pick up someone that will improve our squad straight away, those are the names realistically I'll be looking at without shouting out like let's get Nathan Cleary in here or something like that. You know what I mean?
Just a theoretical. If Walker, just in a theoretical, would you take Walker back?
Dylan Walker?
Yeah, Dylan Walker. I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't. I'm not sure if I would.
Nah, not with the way. Not to say it went down a bad way, but you know what I mean. We've separated paths. He's done everything for the club. He definitely left us in a better position than he picked us up with. And that's why I'm very appreciative of him. But I do think it's kind of, you've done sort of your dash now too. Like, you're doing good things in Parramatta, and I don't, the same with Adam Fanor-Blake. Like, it'd be incredible. And Adam, if he came back in, I'm sure, like, we'll take Adam back in. But again, like, I'm just looking at Adam and I was like, if you turned around next tomorrow and say, I want to come back, I'll kind of look at it and go, how much did you kind of take away from us last year, your contract situation, and you saying you wanted to leave? Like, I don't want that again. I want, everyone that wants to be in that Warriors jersey from day dot, I'm there. You know what I mean? So, I'm very happy with where we're at.
I only asked it to kind of, it's a trigger actually for that we're actually moving in a little bit different direction. And that actually, to be honest, Dylan's time has reached its point anyway, I'd say.
Yeah.
When you look back on it. But this young guy, Payne Haas, he seems like a good player. Big up Josh Hill, bro. Big up our brother Josh, man. And big things coming for bro. I've spoken to brother Josh in the background. He knows what he's got to do, but I got some stuff for him to do. Specifically around the meet and greet. He's going to be fantastic, man. Again, just team. I was just only trying to trigger the mindset of like,
exactly.
If we actually had Dylan Walker, would we take him back right now? And there's no disrespect. I love Dylan. But it's like, actually, no, we would kind of probably wouldn't. We're kind of moving in a new direction now, which kind of is great in itself as well. And shout out Josh, man, for the $8.99, bro. You did not have to. We love you, man, and appreciate your work as well here at Wise Up TV. Fantastic. Just quickly on as well, someone was saying, any updates on Metcalf long term? I think it's in the works, but we can't quite say it, people. Hey, I can't quite think of anything that's been released unless you might know.
No, all I've heard is that we have open talks. So, like, talks have opened. Like, the club's obviously given a hand out to say, hey, we are willing to get into the discussions. So really, it's on to both, Luke's manager and New Zealand Warriors, and I'm sure that he'd love to. Like, hearing, I think where did he come out and say that he was getting married? It was on Matty John's show. He's getting married in Christchurch from memory. So he's doing a lot of things in New Zealand, and he's kind of basing in New Zealand. Obviously, his baby's now been born. So, like, I expect that we got some really good. Obviously, we shouldn't lowball him or anything like that. I don't expect that, but I think that they should come together at the table, and I think there'll be a deal ready to go.
Yeah, this is another good one too. Would you take Zion back? And actually, you're thinking now, I think guys like you got Bishop Neals, you got other guys that are kind of starting to fill that role. It's kind of the chain's starting to work now. No disrespect to Zion, but it's just like things are starting to move. Once one person drops out, another comes and fills the shoes, which is absolutely fantastic.
Just checking on Zion, like, I was curious to see. I didn't have his stats up here, but I'm pretty sure he just hasn't continued to flourish in the way that is first, and he's still got a lot of time. He's still young,
he's got time.
Incredible talent, right? And like, who knows? But I think right now, currently in Cup, he's averaging only 67 meters per game. Where with us he was averaging 97 to 80. He's dropped off in some other margins. Defensively doing not too bad, but I think he's had some limited game time there too. So for me at the moment, no. I love Zion, and I'm sure that if he got homesick and wanted to come back, all right. But like for us to squabble and want him to come back, probably not.
Yeah, it's just and it's kind of a good sign that we're kind of continually moving in the right directions, which is fantastic. Yeah, Casey would be fantastic. Sorry, Jesse. Is it? Who's the one that played Kiwis?
Oh, both of them, bro. Yeah, Casey played Kiwis.
Yeah, Casey was great, man. Yeah, no, I would take Casey for sure, bro. Love those boys, which would be good too. Okay, it was this one. We were saying Luke's mum said he has to stay in Auckland. She used his first minute to let her know what you Good stuff. Okay, guys, that's good chat. There's obviously no game to review. We're just getting up to date with everything. Keep chucking things in the chat. If they pop up and they trigger us, me or Ash, we'll talk about them. But Teamless Tuesday, look, the team did drop, guys, for a game against the Panthers, which is a Saturday game, which is fantastic, at 5 p.m. The only change so far is Graham Talfa listed in there to start, which is great. Really cool. Then it's just Marata starting with Fish again, and then Leka and Jacob. Looking forward to seeing those two play solid minutes. And then obviously Tamari in his 100th game. I think actually shout out to Marata. I think he's going for 150. Shout out to Tamari, who just at least got to be acknowledged for reaching 100 based off his brain injury. To come back and actually still compete in the NRL is absolutely fantastic for him. Then Jackson, Dimitrik, and Tanner, the man that's just extended, which is great. And obviously we'll get a cut down of the 18th, but Sam Healy's in around there as well, man. But yeah, what do you make of the squad this week? Based off a few changes, probably MGT. What do you think of him? And we'll move through the others.
Yeah, obviously this is a major plus for someone like Moala Graham Talfa. Even everyone, it's widely known now, like it's come out that he signed for the South Sydney Roosters, so Rabbitohs, sorry. So he'll move on from us. I have Rabbitohs fans that hate me calling them the Roosters at that moment. So shout out Roosters and Rabbitohs fans out there. But everyone knows the talent that Graham Tolfa that he possesses. He's done some great things in that jersey. Obviously had some things to work on going back to Cup. Had struggled to find his way back in there. He's not within our top 30 from memory, so that's the reason why it took a little bit longer. And then obviously Kurt Capewell has been doing a great job of filling those spots. Job. But just good to see we're resting up Kurt Capewell from Origin, coming from Perth to New Zealand. You saw the Penrith Panthers resting all their Origin stars as well, so it's a decent trip to get back home depending on how that all plays out. I think Graham Tolfa is a great centre to come up and do a job there. Kind of shows that maybe Rocco and Ali are going to be a little bit away. So maybe they're going to come through Cup, who knows, to get their fitness back. So we'll wait and see how that progresses. But I'm very excited to see what Graham Tolfa has in store for us this weekend against the Panthers.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for him, and he's been in this situation before. We know he can do it. So just looking forward to seeing what he produces, and again to step back and I was so surprised to see our injury list is literally Barnett and those two centers. Like in years gone by, it's been 10 guys at one time and around the stage of the season. So there's definitely that. Just quickly, shout out to Robert Harper. I think Harper he's probably that tier below. Like maybe if we had a bit more wing issues, you'd probably go to Harper, but then Kossi's still a good shout. Kossi's yardage, we've talked about him in our tier list that he was actually a genuine shot. But I'm actually fine with MGT, bro. Looking forward to seeing what he can do.
I think it'd be incredible, bro, for what he possesses. Just looking at some of the Cup stats going around at the moment for this season, he is actually tied fourth or third for tries this season. And everyone's watching MGT in Cup, like tackle break ability is his, one of his highest suits. He's right up there for tackle breaks per game as well on average. So he's an incredible player. He's just got that athleticism to him. Explosive speed, loves to skip on the outside, very strong body. Someone like a Morgan Harper, very experienced sort of member. But in those other areas, I think Moala Graham Tolfa probably has him covered, in my opinion. But if we were going for the safer sort of guy, I think obviously, someone like a Morgan Harper is a bit more of, because of the experience, he can find his way around the park. But I think Graham Tolfa is a great option there, and he'll do a great job. I think honestly, at the moment, the way it's looking, any name that we seem to be getting put into that jersey is going to do a job. So there's no real time to stress. If Webby's choosing them, there's a good reason for it, and they'll do a great job on the weekend.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Okay, man. Yeah. Laban and Lecker starting again. How you confident in those two getting those extra reps now and kind of solidifying themselves as potential starters in the next coming years? What do you make of those two?
Yeah, very, very excited. I thought Jacob Laban was incredible against the Sharkies in that first stint. He was key in our first couple of tries from memory. Definitely our first try from Dallin. I think he made a couple of tackle breaks, darted back inside of the field, and I think off that tackle, Luke Metcalf ended up getting the kick over to Dallin Martinez' next score in the corner. So had a great impact early. His defense has grown leaps and bounds, and everyone's touched on it. He's putting hits on left, right, and center, making great decisions. Lecker is just proving week in, week out that he's a starter in NRL in first grade, and he's definitely that explosive piece that we've been waiting for and loving for a little while now. So I love seeing Ratani Cordes starting up in the middle with James Fisher-Harris. I prefer that at the moment in the middle, especially with this sort of lineup. Him, Jackson forward, and Dimitri could do a great interchange there with the bench, and maybe Marata will come to an edge a little bit later to spell Lek Alasima. So love it, bro. I love it. At the moment, these guys are all playing very good footy.
Absolutely. Yeah, shout out to everyone. And the great to have 143 up in here, man. It's absolutely beautiful. But let's get those likes up, people. We'll get to 100, please, minimum. I know I've been usually saying 50, but now with so many people, we like to get up to 100. I know you can, people. Just got to hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe as well. Shout out to our moderators helping us. It's just enjoy. It's, you enjoy, and then you click like. You just pop it in and out. It's like getting a little drink, filling your cup up. hit that like and stuff like that. But great. The endless debate of Tamaida versus Healy, I suppose, is always there.
Yep,
When
it
does
always
Healy
will be.
well, I think we've talked it off. I think everyone that's been following us understand the explanations that me and Ash have made. But for
Yep.
sure, every time Healy warrants consideration because he's playing so well, I credit Healy for being in such good form that that he deserves that. You happy with the bench though, Jacko, Dimitrik, and Tanner? That's looking pretty solid now when we're thinking about it.
Yeah, it looks incredible. Very, very big. All obviously possess the ability to play through the middle. And there's a couple there that have the ability to play also on an edge with Dimitrik and Jackson. They can do a great job on the edge as well if need to be. Tomaide, as you said, Mr. Fixer can cover multiple different positions more than a lot of our other options that we can carry in that 14 jersey. As we touch on, we continue to touch on. We do believe that's probably the reasoning why he's continuing to be there, especially with our injury record and players that can't cover those positions at the moment. Tomaide opens up that Mr. Fixer to do so. And Tanner, we spoke about Tanner just before, just winning over another contract. I want to see another big game out of him through the middle. I think defensively he'll be on one tonight over the weekend. And I think all these boys will perform for Fisher Harris, and I think that's a major key coming to this weekend. Fisher's old club. I think these boys don't want to let that man down in the middle, and I don't think any of these guys have the ability to let that man down, in my opinion.
Yep. Great and long season maybe give you. I think that will come to fruition. I think this is so important. This period of just nailing on these games, getting our points up. Like if we are legit, we should be beating teams that are inferior. And you might look at saying if everything goes well, you might rotate Engan with a Sam Healy with a run of 3 games or 2 games or whatever towards the end of that type of thing. But anyway, guys, we're going to go soon now into a combined 17. We'll talk more about the Panthers, guys. But shout out to our brother Tony W for massive 20. This is our year, and I know we have said that before. Tony, we believe that especially after what I saw against the Sharks. I've really bought in, and I know that Ash has that same sentiment. So let's do this, And thank you for 20. It's going to go back in towards Ash's, having a great time. We're going to Kelly Taltons. You heard of Kelly Taltons, Ash? By chance?
No, mate. These are all new to me, brother. I'm excited to experience.
I tell you, man, I'll pick you up on that morning. We're gonna hit the road, bro. We're gonna go. We're gonna go Rainbows Zen. We're gonna go to Kelly Taltons. Get us a couple of pies.
Yep.
Go up the Sky Tower. Maybe we should do the Sky Tower. The what's it called? The bungee. Do a bit of bungee, bro.
Oh,
what do you reckon?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Is that like the Tower of Terror at Dream World? Or no?
Yeah, probably even better, bro. But you know what I mean. Yeah, that's a good call, Russ. Actually, yeah, I think we're starting to think strategically, bro. Russ, look at you and your phone, man. Look at that. Look at the Warriors gears they got there.
Unreal, brother. I dream of that.
They dream of that when you have kids, to have all kitted out in Warriors gear, man. Absolutely awesome, bro. But yeah, big up our man Tony as always. Bro, set up Hobbiton, bro, straight up. Go for a ride, man. Hey, you can't go wrong with what Southside say here, bro.
You get them everywhere. But
hey, we want to catch up with Mackie. Mackie can see us out the window going on the sky drop, bro.
Wave hello, brother.
Bro, that's so cool to see us, bro. Honestly, fantastic. What a cool thing. All the Whānau and Warriors gear and supporting the team. Okay, man, let's get into this combined 17. And this is such a weird, I suppose, time to be talking about coming up against the 4-time, premiership winning Panthers. Sorry, I'll just take this. Actually, move us to this one, maybe. Oh no, sorry, Ash. I'll go back. I just need to take my thing off.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
Thank you, man. Okay, yeah, it's crazy to talk about them where they are, but. Mate, it's a great benefit to us too, So, sorry. But yeah, what are you making of the Panthers so far, man? Are they kind of this? They're creeping up the ladder board, each week. They were
Yeah,
written off for a large period.
a lot of buyers have helped that in that sort of sense, and they are in that mixer of teams that are on 5 wins this season. The one draw hasn't helped them as well with the Cowboys there, but I don't know. I'm still not fully there with the Panthers just yet. Like I see little parts of the game growing, but growing enough to become the Penrith Panthers again. I think it's going to be a little bit of time before we see that. I think there's just errors in their game that they still just can't get a handle of, and I think that's just obviously new players and new positions in the system and key positions in that system. But still, any team on us today is a dangerous side. We know that in the NRL. So it'd be good to see our boys get the job done, whether it's 1 to 12, whether it's 13 plus. Would love to see a 13 plus and put another stake into the ground. But just another win at the end of the day. That's what we got. That's where in the winning business at the end of the day. I want to see more wins and continue that on that streak. I think we got the ability to do so, especially with the teams that have been named.
Yep. Okay, we're going to get into this, guys. We'll go from obviously left wing. So Roger, I think, is it versus Alamoti?
Yep.
Or was it? Yep. Roger versus Alamoti. Alamoti is a great player. I haven't watched much of Panthers this year to kind of obviously watch him, Ash. But
actually, from memory, bro, sorry, I think it's Thomas Jenkins versus Roger. Yep.
Thomas Jenkins has been tearing it up. Didn't he score 3 or 4 tries the other day?
He's been very good.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, I'm starting to think we need to be more like on current form,
Yep.
But that's not discrediting Roger either. Everyone's saying in the chat RTS. Just want to give Jenkins props for doing what he's supposed to do and finish stride. But I would go RTS based on my knowledge and what I've seen from RTS. What would you say?
Yeah, right there with you, bro. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Not to say, again, touch on Thomas Jenkins, Milky Bar Kid, incredible. A lot of big work out of the back end, bro. Scores tries as well.
Because he's so pale white, the Milky Bar Kid.
Yeah, bro. Shout out to him. I can't remember what creator. Shout out to, I think it's Rugby League Guru. That's our first put that out there. So shout out to Rugby League Guru. That's not on me. That's that bloke out there. But Roger's producing for us, especially meters out of the back end. The moments he produces, I've got to have Roger over him just at the moment. But Tom Jenkins, great player.
Yeah. Yep. Doing well. Okay, we'll go now to fullback. CNK versus Laurie. I think this is quite an easy one. I mean, CNK has just been tearing it up, bro. And we're going to give it to our brother Chance. Laurie been going 100%. All right at the back, though? I mean, he's had to fill in a bit, hasn't he?
Well, he's been playing Cup lately. So he's struggled when he's jumped into first grade with the errors, especially in key points on the field. I think that's the reason why Ivan's dropped him back to Cup just to learn a thing or two. Still has the ability to break a team apart. He's got incredible individual talent, Dane. Just still yet to put it all together. So CNK, consistency always wins out at the end of the day.
Okay, now we're going Dallin versus Alamoti. I haven't watched enough of Alamoti. Dallin's been slowly creeping his way up and playing consistent. I thought it was probably one of his better games against the Sharks, and he scored 2 tries since coming back, which is fantastic. I would go Dallin, but if there's, what do you think of Alamoti as well?
Yeah, again, another guy that's been dropped back to Cup for the Penrith Panthers this season. He's worked his way back through. I think, again, due to a couple of different factors. Dallin, obviously, just getting back from the injury, he's taken a little bit of time to get back into his straps. But I think he's doing a great job out there, working his way back into form. He's scoring tries for us. 2 weeks on the try, he's putting the ball down, which is great to see, especially as an aerial threat. I think Dallin is the better winger overall. Alamonti's got the ability to play centre, wing, all like that. But I think Dall, better finisher. There's a lot of different factors that go into this, but I'm going Dallin.
Okay, yeah, we're going to go Dell for sure. Shout out to Strictly, man, with the 10. A bit late night, brothers, but just in time, brother. Man, you know where we're going to go in the back row, you know what I mean? So you're perfect timing, brother.
He's jumped it
early. Also, we got CNK in there. And shout out to Strictly. He was very disappointed with how we let Boldo come in with his Kennedy. And
I know. I know.
That's why I'm really taking this serious now. I'm like, nah, bro, you have to, don't go based off name and all that. The crack of his thing, I went on to Boldo's show afterwards, and he goes, and he had the spiel about Kennedy, and Kennedy, man, he can't even catch a ball. He can't even. It's like, bro, you just told me that Kennedy was a Dally M potential winning fullback, and now you're coming on your own show. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I was just cheering you guys up." I said, "Bro, you're not jumping back on here." But,
I know. I was still shaking my head to this day that we didn't let CNK have fullback and Dallin on the wing. But shout out to Katoa. He's been fairly good for him as well. So it was a good little battle there. But bro, Boldo.
Boldo. And actually, just shout out to Boldo. We're doing the Origin watch along tomorrow night. Boldo's hosting it, so if you guys want to come watch along, it'll be on here as well. But I'll let the brother host and do his thing. Heaps of guests coming in, man. There's some Stormy Daniels is coming in. Not the actual Stormy Daniels, but Storm fan Daniel. I don't know if you guys have seen it. He's pretty good, bro. Stormy Daniel.
Yeah.
And a few others. Yeah, so a few guests coming through, man.
I thought the subscriber count just going up real quick with the first name you threw out there.
But no, man, it's gonna be fun. So let's go to now. What we got? The Pomps at left center versus
Casey McLean.
I love Casey. I love what he is a player, but you got to go Pomps for me. I think Casey's been dropping in and out as well, hasn't he?
Yep.
But talent-wise, you think Casey's going to be on another level in a couple of years' time. What would you say? I'm going Pompey for me personally, but would you go Casey in that situation?
No, I'm going Pompey with you. And there's a strong argument this year that he's been one of our best back five. And he's playing week in, week out. The guy does not miss a game. This is 3 years in a row under Andrew Webster that he just barely misses football games. I remember the first season, 2023, I don't think he missed a game for us that season. I think 2024, he didn't miss a game till the last game of the year from memory due to a sin bin or something, or a suspension from memory. Yeah. Anyway, availability is the best ability. Case McLean's still learning first grade football. He's been in and out of the side. He's had big moments this year, but he's also had some flop moments. He needs to lay off a little bit of that sticky stuff as well. Doesn't love to pass the ball to his outside men when they're open and free. We've seen that a couple of times.
I've seen that a few times.
But he's an incredible talent. He'll be incredible for the future. Just right now, Adam Pompey's in better form.
You know what, low key? Like, I know I'd love personally probably to, if I was ever to meet and greet, if someone was to come to the meet and greet and hang out with us. And I know there's guys like RTS would be great to talk to, and others probably Dallin or other players. But I'd love to just chill with Pomps for an afternoon. He'd be so relaxed, eh? Pomps would just be, he's just so chill. I would just love to cruise with Pomps and just talk footy, but talk this. He's just got that real quiet. Have you heard him speak? He's got that soft voice, He's like,
bro, he seems like the maddest guy, old
Bex. He's just nice and chill.
He is.
Yeah, we love Pomps, man. And everyone that knows us, we've fought Pomps every time he's, everyone's wanted him out. We were the only ones sometimes fighting for Pompey. So it's great to see Pompey doing well. Okay, MGT versus Tangor. I mean, based on reputation, I'd probably go Tangor. I haven't seen much of Tangor. Has he been in and out as well? It seems probably.
There's been a lot of mixing and matching with that Penrith side. He's jumped to edge back row in a couple of games there, been moved back to that edge. Out of the two, obviously Graham Tolfer, only played a little bit of experience at first grade. Isaac's been there, done that, especially in big games, grand finals, stuff like that. Isaac's just always had this defensive liability in his game that he's still working towards. Usually in big games, he steps up and does very well. But usually during during the season, bro, sometimes he can have some really ordinary defensive reads. Hopefully we can exploit that this weekend. I think both him and Casey have that in their game. So hopefully the boys can really target those boys on the edges.
Yeah, I'm going to go Tungwell, man. I think he's a great player. Yeah, he's kind of a big game guy, isn't he? But hoping MGT has a great game as well. Okay, let's go to the halves now. We have Chanel versus Blaze. Probably got to go CHT, obviously. Yeah, got to go
Yep.
CHT there. But Blaze's transition hasn't been the greatest, I'd say. He's
Well,
kind
to
of
start, I would have said that. I think the last month or so, bro, he's really stepped up into that role. I think he's had some really good moments there. I think he's had close to like 6 or 7 try assists within a short period of time. So he's contributing fairly well. I think as like a long-term player, like Blaze is going to be an incredible player, rugby league player, like NRL
yeah.
player in the future. Right now, as we stand, I think Chanel has been just an incredible half piece with Luke Metcalf this season, and we got to pay homage to him at some point. And I think that tonight's the night for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. Let's do to our brother Chanel there. Okay, now we're gonna go to our man Metcalf and Schneider. Easy pickings.
Love it.
Go Metcalf. Go Metcalf.
Metcalf all day, baby. Metcalf.
Yep. Metcalf. He's no longer a calf. He's now a cow, and then he's making his way to Met Bull.
Yeah, baby.
Have you seen those things on TikTok where they do the evolution of the cow or the wolf, and it always starts with a fish in the water, and then he grows onto land, and then he becomes a lizard or whatever, and then they become like a rat, and then they evolve into a deer, and then it becomes a cow. Have you seen these things?
So what you're saying? Someone's put some time into making Luke Metcalf from a fish to Luke Metcalf right now with a Dahlia medal around his neck.
So
is that
they're
what
like,
you're saying?
like worm, they're worms in the water, whatever, and then they always got that da 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 da. It's this weird
yeah, I think I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, and then they evolve.
Yeah.
They got like the evolution of a cow, and it starts off it's in the water, and then it moves into the.
You know what? The one that gets me, bro, is the one that I think Manly put out there, and I see a couple other clubs do it as well. But Manly put one up of Jazz Tavanga. But what they did, they started off with, I think it was Jaden Smith and this chick in like a movie, and they have an argument about love, and she's like, "Oh, he's like, I love you." She's like, "No, you don't." She rips off her hair, and she's bald. And it's like Jazz Tavanga running out there. It's so good, man.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, bro. Anyway, that's a bit of but bro, the chat is lying. That's it. The evolution. We need to do the evolution of going crazy right now. Okay. Let's go now to front row. Far out. This is a great battle, isn't it? You got Fish and his old partner Leota, who's I saw a bit of content. That's going to be a good battle. Two friends like Arnold and who was it? And was it Commando or whatever? Him and the guy Apollo Creed. Oh my goodness! Sorry, I'm getting carried away. I am really tired. I shouldn't even be doing this right now.
I love it. I love it.
Fish and Leota and Marata and Lindsay Smith.
Yep.
Predator. Yeah, Wills. Thank you, Predator. What a great movie that was, Predator. Actually, a lot of the Predator sequels have been fantastic too. Anyway, side note.
I would say that it's one of those movies, right? That like a lot of movies usually screw up the sequel, but they go all right. Where's Jose in the chat? Jose should know this.
Jose will know, bro. But the Predator sequels, some of the best sequels I've seen. And the best part, actually, just in that movie and when he's hiding in the mud, that's fantastic. And Arnie comes out and he's full of money and you can just see it and he just that's a great movie. Actually, I gotta go back and watch that movie.
Talk about Predator. We're gonna bring up some names here that are like alpha males, the predators in the middle.
Bro. Okay, let's get these two locked in. I think it's Fish and Leota, obviously, for me.
Oh, has to be. Yeah, it has to be.
What a great those two are.
So Levon was just trying to segue that with the Predator chat. It was unreal. I was like, this is unreal.
I've heard this is good. I do want to check this out. The new animated Predator. I've heard the thing. I think even Jose mentioned it in Discord as well. So definitely check that out if you're into that type of stuff. Okay, let's go for lock just quickly, just so we tie that off.
Yep.
Clark versus Ironshuth. Pretty simple. Clark.
Yeah,
Do I need
probably
to say
going to get lock of the year this year, surely. If he continues on this run, bro, I don't see anyone stopping him.
Ash, have you made comment yet about SJ's show? Have you had a chance to watch it? What do you think of it with Tohu in it?
I'm trying. So is it on YouTube? I was
It
trying
should
to
be on
find
YouTube.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, thank God. I'm gonna have to watch it because in Australia, obviously, I don't have Sky Sports, so I want to watch it for sure. I watch all the SJ's like play on podcasts and stuff. So this would be incredible to see that. I've seen the clips, but haven't seen the full thing.
Okay, let's go now. Yeah, but I think everyone had good comments about the show as well. It's actually going real well. It's funny that we're just talking about movies and stuff. We must feel so relaxed as Warriors fans that we're just not even, we're just wiping through like the four-time premiership Panthers. Like,
Panthers
okay.
squad.
So relaxed.
Oh, it's
This is a
great.
crazy
It'd
time
be
to
some
alive
great.
as a fan, bro. I swear.
It'd be
this
some
is
great
not normal.
arguments. Be some great arguments when those Nathan and all that were, if they were in the squad as well.
They were,
Like
yeah. I
it'd be an
think
incredible squad. But yeah,
I think the squad just no disrespect, but it's kind of really cruising through at the moment. Okay, now we're going to go to hooker. Egan versus Kenny, and like I like Mitch Kenny as a hooker. I think he's a back-to-back. He's a premiership winning hooker, and he's a quality player. I'd have to go Egan for me personally, but how's Mitch been this season? If you watched much of Mitch play?
yeah, little bits and pieces, bro. He's had one of those injury riddled seasons. He's been dealing with a shoulder injury this year, unfortunately. But which makes sense to a guy like Mitch Kenny, bro, where he's willing to put his shoulders any which way or whatever to get a man on the ground. He's an incredible player in that sort of sense.
Fantastic player.
But as an overall hooker, as an individual hooker, I got to go Wade Egan. What he does in the ruck, defensively, he can hold up in that fight as well. Makes his 50-odd tackles a game. I think he's in for a big game here, coming back of what Sam Healy did for the Sharkies. I think Wade Egan will be in for a big one this weekend.
Yeah, that's a good shout from Strictly as well.
Yeah,
Egan by knife says both have different qualities defensively. Kenny's unreal, but on tech, Egan, yeah. I rate Kenny's defensive work at hooker. He's absolutely fantastic.
Agreed.
Okay, now let's go into back row. We have got Lecker, I think. Was Lecker playing left or right? I can't remember.
Lecker's playing on the right if it's accommodated. No, Laban was playing right, and Lecker was playing left against the Sharks, from memory.
So is it Lecker versus Sorensen, I'm thinking?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be Lecker versus... So Sorensen is a right edge back rower. Yeah. No, it'll be Laban versus Sorensen. No. Sorry, I'm getting my sides mixed up. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, Scotty Sorensen. D's up on the right-hand side. And Isaiah Papali'i's left-hand side because usually...
Okay. So I think it's a Papali'i.
No, sorry. Liam Martin's on that right-hand side. Scott Sorensen on the left. Scotty Sorensen's left edge back rower. He'll be up against Alec Alasima. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm muddled right now.
Yes. Okay, so let's go Lecker versus Scott Sorensen.
Yep.
I respect Scott. He's been a solid Kiwis player as well. But I think Lecker might be over top of him, to be honest. Right now. They're talking right in this moment. What do you say?
Yeah, Scotty's had, he's only just come back off of injury recently too. Had an amazing tackle a couple of weeks ago. A try-saving tackle. I think it was a game-winning try-saving tackle as well. But as in for the season, in form-wise, I can't go past Lecker. I think that, if we're going for overarching season, as we kind of touched on before, we're kind of more so swaying towards our form. I think Lecker's wins in that sort of ring. Overarching would be Scott Sorensen, but I'm going to go Lecker Alasima.
I agree, man. I really want to stay on that line of form, and I respect Sorensen. Love him as a player and
incredible player
and what he's done. And it feels like we're disrespecting these guys' form type premierships, but I think we're just trying to isolate it to form and current positioning. That this is where we're at as a club. That we would go with our guys. Currently, but just quickly, want a big shout out to. Mel, just a little something for getting Ash the Aussie brother. I think any Aussie brother to come over to Aotearoa. Thank you very much, Mel.
Shot,
We
Mel.
appreciate that. And actually, it's going to go straight, into supporting Ash. We're going to do content as well. So I'm thinking we're going to do go to a Cleveland bakery and have some pies and get Ash's reaction, do stuff like that. So,
I'm excited.
Content. Yeah. So this goes a long way, Mel. We really appreciate you as a channel member and supporting Ash, and actually Ash's partner as well coming over and wife. So we're excited for that too. Hopefully she can have a good time. Not just us, just not me and you. She'd be like, "Hey, why have you guys left me at the hotel? I want to go out and have fun as well." It's like, "Nah, man, we gotta go. We gotta go do this stuff."
It's a Wise Up TV trip, babe. No, she's excited, bro. She's mad excited,
and to see family too. Obviously, where you can. Yep. So absolutely, man. Thank you very much, Mel. We really do appreciate that. Okay, let's keep it going with. Thank you, Mel. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Let's go to Ash. Sorry, just saw Southside. Yes, we're gonna try. I want to hit up Daz. Let's see if we can go out to Ashby's as well. Shout out to our Warriors fans included. Daz is fantastic, so we'll probably definitely go out to him as well. Okay, let's go now to right edge. Papali'i versus Laban. I mean, I can't go past Papali'i, but has he had a good season? Has he been quiet? Is he fitting? Is he actually fitting in with the Panthers in your eyes, Ash?
Yeah, I've actually been enjoying Papali'i's time at the Penrith Panthers at the moment. It's not Papali'i of the Parramatta Eels and that boom season that he had at the moment, but he's trimmed down. He's doing all the right little things. He's kind of been mixing up between, playing off the bench or starting on an edge, depending on who's in the lineups, due to injuries and stuff like that. But I've been really enjoying his game this year. If we're having a fight between him and Jacob Laban, I think that he's probably been, Laban's only been with us for, a couple of games here, in these moments. I'm going to sway the way of Isaiah Papali'i, only just, even though Laban's continuing on to build on his year right now. But shout out to Ice and kind his career around sort of thing from that Tigers days. He's trimmed down a lot. And I thought it was like the black jerseys or whatever, but man, kind of what I envisioned before. It's not just good that Isaiah Papali'i for the Panthers to do what he's doing, but for the Kiwis at the end of the season, for him to trim down, do what he's doing, I think he's going to be a hard man to stop for the Kiwis.
Yeah, he's... Look, that's a great battle because, Laban's a potential young Kiwi too at some point coming through. You're looking at those transitions, you're looking at, the experience, but shout out to Pops. I love him as well. As Kiwis fans, seeing him play for us, he's been fantastic. So, okay, guys, let's move now into the bench. Just quickly on that's a massive wrap to our boys that we are dominating, and we'll go lead into the score predictions, obviously based off that.
Yep.
But let's go now. We've got a bench of Tamai there, Jackson Ford, Dimitrik, and Tanner. Then you've got on the other side Trent Toilo, Liam Henry, Luron Patea, and Luke Garner. I think for me, Garner's a guy that I like.
Yep.
If there was one guy from their bench, I would take it be probably Garner. Would you agree with that, Ash?
Yeah, definitely. I enjoy his versatility. I also like Liam Henry as a shout there too. Patea has had a couple of games and has been good. He's a big body in that. But those are Liam Henry and Garner would have a fight for a role here. So for me, we'll put Garner in there because I think that Garner would be a great shout for any side. He can play multiple positions. Next, I'll be looking at our boys, and you're looking at Jackson, Dimitrik, and I might end off with Liam Henry for at the moment. I think we might just go a 4-forward bench there. I think that might be the go.
Yeah, Liam Henry's good too. I rate him his work off the bench.
Yeah.
Sorry. There you go.
You could fight Tamade Martin in there as well. I think that, our bench, has been touched on here in the chat, shout out to everyone here. I think our bench is looking very, very good for this game. I think it does look like the better out of the two. But, there's a couple of boys in this Penrith side that still have a lot of class. And I think Liam Henry and Luke Garner is definitely those two pieces that I'll look at.
Yeah, man. I definitely. Hey, welcome in, Bruce, man. Good to see you. Hope you're enjoying that break. Get back to work. No, we love you, brother. We love you. Just
Love
kidding.
you, Buzz.
If you're on the night shift, just have a little bit of chill one if you can. Have a little bit of break. Great to have you in, brother. Okay, guys, that's the bench there. That's the team. Look, blue, red, and green, filling up the page there, and rightfully so. And we're not disrespecting anyone here. Obviously, if Nathan Cleary was in that frame, we would definitely argue for Nathan, and the likes of a Yo as well. So when you're looking at pound for pound and starters versus starters, look, it probably look very different. So, let's not disrespect them either by coming over here. Let's not take this lightly. They're still a very professional outfit that can get the job done with Ivan and his experience.
100%.
I would not put it past him. So there you guys have it, though. Looking really, really solid for us across the park, which should show us that we're probably coming in as favorites based off that anyway. So, but yeah, guys, that wraps that part up. Pick up everyone in the chat. Josh, go have a good one, man. We will catch up with you for sure, man. And thank you for accepting your role in terms of the meet and greet. Josh is going to be one of the MC, so he's got big hands to kind of. He's going to be doing interviews. He's going to be walking around doing stuff. So
I love it.
We're grateful to have Josh in there, man. Let's look now. This is a good one. Led Namorok, EIT. Just quickly, because I did see some people talking about EIT at the start. Does he get a debut, you think, Ash, or it's just kind of odd man out, still not quite there to crack the starting 17?
Yeah, he definitely would have been around about in that area. You know, he's a guy that at the moment, like, he's playing edge back row and cup. From memory, I thought that he had a couple of weeks off of cup as well. So whether that is due to an injury that he's been carrying or a fitness thing, I just want to double check. No, I'm probably wrong actually there. It's just not from memory, but yeah, I think that he's definitely around about, but I think they've more gone with positional player as in Graham Tolfer to cover that sort of spot. I wouldn't have been mad to see Eddie in that spot either. So I think it was just more Webby just picking on a guy that's played centre in that position, even though we've seen Eddie do that at high click in the trials. So I think that's just the way they're going with that one.
Yeah, man. Okay, there you have it, guys. Let's just go now to score prediction, bro. Look, I've said we should carry on. Looks like the Origin players aren't going to make it back. Someone said in the chat that Cleary was coming over, but just to watch his brother.
Yep.
I mean, no doubt. That's why Kate Well's out as well, because it's a long trip back, and I just want to risk it, especially with someone like Kate Well. And not to say what happened to Barnett was due to Origin, but look, we've got a chance here just to let someone else play this week, and why not just let Kate Well come home and rest up off a long flight back. So,
agreed.
But based on that, Ash, what's your scoreline for this game? How do you see it? How do you see it happening? And what's the final score?
Yeah, I kind of touched on it to start the show. Like, obviously it'd be incredible. And I think a lot of people would look at this game to see, like, we should be able to come away with a 13 plus or, a decent sort of margin. I'm still looking at this game as in the fact of, like, Penrith, even with down on troops coming over, I think they'll end up giving it a good crack. Teams love making a trip and trying to fight the Warriors that are flying high at the moment. But I'd love to see us just come out with a victory no matter what. The way I'm envisioning this game is more of a 24-12 sort of contest going our way. Trying to hold the Penrith Panthers down to just a couple of try margin there. And for our boys to get past that 24 mark, which we always kind of set for ourselves. Statistically, the last couple of weeks, we're averaging around that 28 point per game margin, or even higher than that if you only take in the last 2 weeks, right? But I just wanted to see a win. Just continuing to chug over those wins, week in, week out against a strong system, even though all their players are missing. There's still a system that is fighting for an 8 spot. And I think Ivan will get them up for it as much as that's sort of they can for this game with all those players getting pulled out. So I'm going Warriors 1-12 still. But would love to see a 13 plus for sure, just to put a stake in the ground and just continue on what we built from the Sharkies' performance.
Yeah, and the weather's saying it's mainly fine chance of a shower southwesterlies on Saturday, so it looks like it's going to
Yep.
be a good game. Um, maybe a bit of dew by the time the sun goes down at around that time. So um, some good score lines there as well. But yeah, it looks like look, everything's leaning towards our way. I definitely think we get to that 30-point mark, and I think we're showing signs that we've got the talent and to get there. But yeah, I just again I credit to Ivan and his team and their success that you just do not take this lightly. Put the pressure on them, show them who we are, and I think we should carry on. Should be able to carry on and get the dub anyway. But I think it's important. Just look, we've got 2 games here, then we've got another bye, so it's kind of like we have to kind of. I mean, it would be difficult if we lost this game and then lose the Broncos game, just to kind of it shows that you've lost a bit of momentum. So just needing to get this one over the line.
Yep.
And then we're looking like, okay, we're really going to start to push and get things ready for the end of the season type thing.
Yeah. And again, as I said, I would love to see us just go out there and just trample all over the Penrith Panthers. And again, I wouldn't say it'd be crazy impressive. It'd be kind of expected for a lot of teams and that. But in general, I'm expecting just us to come out away from a win. A lot of teams, I think it's a myth around the league that, coming off of a bye, you should be fresh and killing it. I think teams usually take a little bit to get it turning over. I think that it's close to a losing record for teams coming off of byes. For the last couple of years. So, we just want to just get a win and do it in a great fashion. I think 24-12 in my eyes is still a dominant fashion if we're able to keep them within a couple of try margin, for a couple of tries on their end and us scoring over that 4 to 5 try on our end. So that's the way I'm looking at it.
Yep. There you guys have it. I see a lot of score lines in there, high scoring. That would be great to see as well. But yeah, 24-12 is also like a solid, we did our job. We put them away.
Yeah.
That type of thing. Any first time try scorers or any man of the matches you're kind of expecting who to have a big game?
Well, the way I'm kind of expecting this to play out is I think that, we've been really good this year at attacking. I think there's been a shift in NRL first grade shape attacking certain points of the field. Used to be attacking your spots of halfbacks and stuff, but I think that's gone one wider now when we're attacking center plays and causing centers to create to make up the decisions late. So you see it a lot. You watch the Doggies, they get Viliami kick out on a sweeping play, as in to run a very similar to an out the back to get on that center and cause that 2-on-1 action, right? I think we can do a similar ability. We usually get Shinohara out on that edge, and he makes the right decision from there, whether he chooses to run or not. We've seen it multiple times this year. So I'm looking at Shinohara again. I think, with Isaac Tungo and that defending on an edge, I think we can attack that fairly well. And I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe, let's say, a Moala Graham Tolfa for getting back into that jersey. I think that, he's been scoring tries for fun, New South Wales Cup. He's got a lot of impact. I think that I'd love to see him get over, especially jumping back into a jersey there in first grade.
Yep. Fantastic, guys. Okay, we're just going to quickly change now to the development. The Cup boys, I think they got the dub on the weekend.
Yep.
Against, was it Para? I think it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a good back and forth type game. What did you make of that performance? Who were the standouts for you, Ash?
Yeah, getting out to a 46-22 victory there against that Parramatta Eels side that's carrying a lot of first grade talent in their roster as well. So very, very good victory. I think, the big standouts that as we had there, Tane Tuapiki has been doing amazing things back in Cuppa. He had an amazing try over the weekend there, showing a bit of toe as well, getting into the backfield. A couple other members I've really enjoyed, Army 2-9 and all that, just consistently. He's having a really good season in Cup this season. Luke Hanson as well. Been an unnamed, not a lot of people talking about, especially Jet Cleary in that at the club. Tanner Boyd's killing it in Cup, but Luke Hanson's having a very, very good season as well. So I want a big shout out to him. All the normal members that are doing very, very good things. I thought that they've all stepped up in this game here. So it's kind of just echoing the thoughts of, week in, week out. These boys are turning up. Tom Arle running for 150 meters. We're seeing some of the stats here too, all looking very good. Tane Tuapiki, 280 meters in this game, 73 post contact, and unfortunately catching that high tackle late in that game.
Yeah, everyone's mentioning it. It's pretty savage.
Yeah, I think I saw that this guy's he's going to get a decent suspension there, because I don't even think it was just a tackle. I think he followed up on the ground as well, from memory of what I've seen. So. Yeah, bro, that's very, very silly. I think Tane will probably be out rested for a week or two with the HIA. So hopefully he's doing okay, because he looked like he caught a decent knockout there.
Yeah, man. Hopefully get justice for Tane as well. And it's hate to see young guys like that get that type of, that's not part of the game. We can always take an accidental head knock. We can always accept that, but not intentional stuff like that. Okay, man, let's now move to the Jersey Flegg, who got the dub as well. Again, like I said, that Ralph Seal try was fantastic. The absolute speed on the man.
Yep.
But Jet's starting to find his feet too. He's becoming a more of a solid kind of player as well. But what do you make of the Jersey Flegg boys? Who's standing out for you and amongst that group there?
Bro, ever since TJ's stepped up and taken over our Flegg side at the moment, we've had this amazing backbone. Yeah. He's unreal, bro. He's unreal. But that Parramatta Eels side, people got to understand, I'm pretty sure they were second in the competition before we took on them over the weekend. We dropped them down to fourth. They got 10 wins and 4 losses this year in Jersey Flegg. So a very good side. We come away with a 32-20 victory over them with a lot of great talent in their side. They got this kid Bradley Alvary, very good talent there. The one big name they have coming through their system, a very good number 6. I think he won SG Ball Player of the Season this year, or half of the season. Lorenzo Talataina. Bro, very, very talented kid. And these Warriors boys put a number on the Parramatta Eels out there. Again, touched on Brendan Norris. I think he's an incredible talent for the future. Hopefully we can continue to lock him down and keep him around. Raphael Seo, you brought up his name. I'm really loving our big middle forwards that we got there too. Lau Malili, he was playing in our SG Ball this season. Big body, does very good things out there. Jack Thompson, beautiful try assist over the weekend. He's really connecting well with Jet Cleary there too. So the boys are really coming together. Yeah, and shout out to other guys out there. Alvin Chong Ni, I haven't really touched on him too much, but he's been a massive member in our Jersey Flegg side this year. Very always contributing into the game, and I'm pretty sure he's a cousin of a really good friend of mine. Shout out to Mikey if he's watching the stream and all that. But yeah, very, very good. And the last guy, I touched on him, I think, a couple of weeks ago, but Joseph Ratcliffe, just continuing to develop as a fullback. He is one of my favorite junior developing fullbacks that I like at our club. He's got a lot of like a Reece Walsh type of player in there. I can see it, like especially the way he hits his sweep plays with that high speed, picks the right decision. I'm very, very excited to see the future out of Joseph Ratcliffe. Hopefully we can continue his development through the grades, especially with Tane being a cup and all that. So very good win, bro. Very, very good win.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, yeah, like Tahi's saying, a nice update. Ash with a fantastic detail of the knowledge that he has and watching these guys and sharing it with us, guys. You can tell the reports that we're getting that there's this great talent coming through, isn't it? It's fantastic. Yeah. The vision of having 5 grades operating under the one club, leading and funneling through now is fantastic. And guys, remember those names, watch them, be aware of them coming through as well. But yeah, Ratcliffe, when I've seen Ratcliffe, I'm like, yo, like the way he moves, man, like the way he operates.
Yeah, he's played really good on the Flegg lately, mixing it with Jet Cleary and that. I'm really enjoying the development to his game, especially as I continue to say, that Parramatta Eels side they ran out there. They got a kid, Muhammad Almadine, as well. He was killing SG Ball last year from memory, or the year before. I think he was leader try scorer in SG Ball, one of the big talents there. Parramatta's got a lot of great young talent coming through the system at the moment. The one big name a lot of people would know is Talataina, and I'm pretty sure he was snubbed out of the Blues under-19 squad this season, and there's been a lot of talk around like why wasn't he there, but that's because Mitch Woods is still eligible and there's another great half that New South Wales has got coming through at the moment. So yeah, tough.
Yeah. Yeah, and as Taylor said, guys, go and subscribe to Ash Thomas on YouTube. Ash, you're not far off from 1.5 on there, I'd say. Or have you passed 1.5 maybe?
I'd be
I'm thinking you
close,
might be.
bro.
Yeah.
I need
On
to
the road
check
to
up on my
2K.
stats more. So yeah,
On the road
I'll
to
quickly
2K,
just
for sure.
on the road, bro. 1.45 right now, guys. So thank you so much for the support as always.
Absolutely. Go and subscribe over there. We'll get to that debrief later. But, mate, there's a massive game happening tomorrow night. How are we feeling, brother? How you feeling? Everything okay?
You know me, brother. I'm always quietly confident. Even after losses and how good you've looked in game one, I'm sure that we've got something waiting for Perth. It usually always goes down to deciders, so we're hoping to come away with a victory in Perth, even though we don't have a great record over there. But I'm sure the changes that Billy has made is going to put a rocket up a couple of players, and the more I think about it, the more I kind of do enjoy seeing Tom Dearden getting a spot there in the halves, and Munster getting a captaincy, because I think that both those guys with their attacking running style as a half, how deep he gets into the line, his competitiveness, I think that would be great for the Maroons. So I'm hoping for a victory, bro, but it's going to be an uphill battle because that blue squad is, it is a mighty squad at the moment.
Do you think the Fotuaika and Tino and Loiero as a starting front row that you kind of, do you believe in it? Do you think, do you like, because this could be like a miracle inspiration. It's kind of like Billy's gone for the inspirational, asking these guys to have the superhuman games. You know what I mean? I think Loiero is like, I wouldn't agree with Loiero, but maybe it's going to try and motivate. I don't know why has he gone with this kind of, is there a technical one, like he's trying to backload the rotation? Like he's got Lindsay back sitting there on the bench, and he's got Nano and he's got Carrigan there. I mean, that's a solid, you could put those three as starters and they might do. What's Billy's philosophy you're seeing? What are you seeing the coach trying to do here?
Well, I'll be completely honest with you. Game one, for the first 20 minutes, I was quietly confident in that game. I thought, well, actually, even though I think that the yardage battle, the Blues were definitely getting the slight upper hand, but like some of the moments there, it felt like a tussle until we brought off Tino, until we brought off Paddy Carrigan, and then it just, the floodgates seemed to open. You boys started to roll through the middle well too easily. I think that's the reason, that's when Spencer Leniu came on the field. We didn't kick to Spencer Leniu. It just felt like everything was kind of tumbling downhill. So with carrying Paddy Carrigan and Jeremiah Neno onto the bench, I think we're sort of looking at the timing of, when Spencer comes on and stuff like that, and not having both of Tino and Paddy off the field at that same time, which is not a great idea. We're going to have either one of Paddy or Tino on the field at one point in this game here. So that's the reason why I believe that Billy's ran with this bench as more impact play, and especially when Tino gets tired, replace him with Paddy Carrigan, and we don't have that big drop-off that we saw in game number one, which you guys took us to town, especially late on in that first half. The second half, I'm pretty sure it ended up being a 50-50 contest, when even though you see it on paper, the Blues were very dominant out there.
Yeah.
I think the couple of moves I'm looking at though, I think that Mo Fotuaika, again, I could be wrong because he started game one. I think that Lindsay might end up coming in to start and Mo Fotuaika comes off the bench.
Yeah. Yep.
I wouldn't even be surprised if we don't see Corey Horsburgh be just a late change out of nowhere being carried in as reserves. It hasn't been cut off just yet. I just feel like there is smoke and mirrors being played here a little bit as well. But again, I'm not questioning the team list. I actually can understand where Billy's coming from, even though there's a lot of talk around it. I actually think it's actually some really good moves, in my opinion, as a like footy wise, numbers wise, attacking fire with fire. Spencer's been a big key factor to that, and I think we can combat that with Paddy Carrigan off the bench and Jeremiah and I.
Yeah, for sure. Talking about Hitman, Kurt the Hitman man. He's got a bit of a Bret Hart hairdo going over here. I'm just watching his profile pic. He's got a bit of a Bret Hart with the old Jerry curl, white man Jerry curl. Is he going to play much of a role? I mean, I'm looking at and look, you never underestimate Queensland, but it does look quite It does look quite dominant, doesn't it? Even with Max King coming in, that feels solid too, in many
Yep,
senses. Over a
exactly.
Tyrrell May, and now Luai's coming in. It just feels like, and the success that they've had in Perth,
Hmm.
um, you'd have to have them as front runners, obviously the Blues, to just
Yeah.
to win this one. But you never know. You never quite know, man.
As I said, like I'm always going to believe my boys. Like I've seen a Queensland Maroon side get run out there that does not compete with the Blue squad on paper and still do a great job and come out with a
Yeah,
victory. A la 2020, this has happened multiple different times and always used to happen when Blues fans get at their chirpiest and when they love their footy and they're finding all these moments and all the same things are coming out in the media at the moment. So I'm praying that it does go that way, but I'm I'm a realist at the end of the day, and I do see that Blue squad being an uphill battle to beat. I think they are the better squad right now. But we're just going to have to, I'll throw a cliche out there, rely on a little bit of that Queensland mentality and, kind of tug on that heartstring and hopefully come out with a victory to bring it to game 3.
yeah, it's going to be fantastic anyway, guys. But yeah, come in and drop in for the watch along tomorrow night. Should be pretty good. Look, even myself, like the fact if Daly wins this, and I don't even rate Daly as a coach, but if he somehow wins this series, it tells you how good the Blues are, just the players.
Yep.
Similar to how Mal Meninga, I never thought was actually the coach. I always thought it was Cam Smith. It tells you how good those Queensland players were at the time. So, look, yeah, it is what it is. But looking forward to that.
Very excited, bro. Very excited. It's a big test, but I'm excited, man. Very, very excited to see what happens out there. And, the future for the Blues is very bright, as we can see.
Yeah. Okay, last thing I wanted to cover, man. What did you make of Rugby League 26, the game? You pumped to check it out. What's your thoughts on it? I know I was talking to Hosea in the Discord. If anyone that's members want to come on the Discord, drop in. Use your same YouTube email.
Yep.
And you can join our Discord. But yeah, what did you make? What are you making of the game? Do you think you'll play it? Do you think it will hit the marks in terms of graphics and ultimate teams and stuff like that?
Bro, I am licking my lips. Unfortunately, it comes out on the exact same day as my wife's birthday. But your boy will find his time around to playing this game every so often, and I'll definitely be looking to live stream it on my channel too, guys.
Absolutely,
I do want to do that.
Yeah,
I love my gaming, so yeah, I wanted to kickstart that back up again, and nothing better to do with Rugby League content. To do Rugby League 26 looks great. I think that the graphics look good enough for an indie team really that's playing Blue Ants, not like the EA or anything like that. So I don't expect anything too crazy. But this Ultimate Team, yeah, I'd love that.
Babe, hey, happy birthday. Oh, what the heck? I thought this was a different game. I better take this back. Oh no, it's okay, babe. Okay, I'll keep this. Sorry, I'll get you another one next time.
That's exactly it, bro. That's how it's gonna play out. Nah, but bro, honestly, that Ultimate Team feature, the pro team they're gonna be put in there. I played a little bit of AFL 23's pro team, and it was okay and all that. But if NRL has anything to do with it, I'll be a little bit more engaged. I'm thinking of legends Darren Lockyer. My dream spine would be Sean Johnson at 7. I would have Darren Lockyer at 6, and I would have Carmichael Hunt at fullback. And I'm trying to think, Cam Smith at 9. I reckon that'd be that's my personal little dream.
Yeah,
spine.
your personal dream spine. Yeah, we have to do a dream. That'd be actually fantastic to do an all-time team. But I mean, I might try to get it if it comes. Is it gonna come out on PC?
Yeah.
If it is, I'll probably get it. Yeah, I'll probably get it on PC. But yeah, man, definitely. I think people. Members, Rise Up TV members will be keen to play games and do some streaming together. So, but check it out on Ash. I'm sure he's going to hit it first. But I'll try to wrap my head around. I haven't played one of those games in ages, but definitely would be cool, man.
Pack opening streams, all that sort of stuff, guys. That's what I'm keen into because I'm chasing Sean Johnson. There better be a Sean Johnson freaking card in that game, bro. I swear to God.
Yeah. Okay, man. Let's wrap that up here, guys. Thank you for a massive stream. We appreciate, firstly, everyone coming through, the likes and subscribes, but most importantly, all of our super chats. There's too many to mention, and all directed for our brother Ash, who's coming over for the special trip, and we're going to have a great time.
Thanks, guys.
So we're going to, really enjoy ourselves in terms of and create some Yeah, some food content, man. Do some different things while we're here. Might have to get you seen Jimmy Jackson. Do you know Jimmy Jackson? Might have to get you.
Yeah, I do.
We might have to set you up with the New Zealand sweets or something. Like I don't know. Do a little bit of Jimmy Jackson. Do your taste test. What you think?
Bro, that'd be unreal. I've tried my Fiji lilies and all that. Like, so yeah, I'm accustomed, guys. I'm accustomed.
But guys, yeah, go and check out Ash. You got a show tomorrow, Ash?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, me and Brody will be on same time, guys, 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on my channel, which would be, 7 p.m. over there in NZ, guys. So jump over. We'll talk about the footy, talk about State of Origin, then move over to our Supercoach sides. And me and Brody both did fairly well over the weekend. Brody absolutely killed it. So. Yeah.
Ash is destroying you and Brody. I think I can't let you guys in the comp next year. You're professionals. You guys are professional super coach guys, man. It's disgusting.
I'm step by step, bro. I keep moving on. I think I'm top 3,000 now in overall super coach. So, slowly getting up there. Not my greatest, but I'm going very well.
Yeah, man. Awesome, guys. Yeah, so guys, if you're super coach heads, go and check that out as well. These guys are, like I was saying, Ash top 3,000 right now. Brody not far off. Shout out to our bro Tahi, does well as well.
Unreal. Yep.
Tahi's a beast in there. Hosea, a lot of guys actually massive. I can't keep up with it. It's so many. You got to check the origin period. Just kill me. I did about 4 trades and none of them worked. I brought Drinkwater in and he bombed. I brought in someone else and then I was like, oh my goodness. It's just
to be fair, bro, like if Brody's watching this and all that, like he's a massive help at the moment too as well, because like when I do content, like I watch every rugby league game. I'm like getting into New South Wales Cup games. I'm watching like all our junior developments. I'm watching Q Cup because of my missus cousins playing Q Cup for Ipswich Jets. I'm trying to key in all these games. So then like having the time to nail down Supercoach, I'll have a chat with Brody. We bounce ideas off each other and he's got spreadsheets on spreadsheets, bro. Like he's gone and delved into it.
How are these guys killing it every week? I'm like, they must have spreadsheets and Excel sheets. It's fantastic.
Yeah, bro. Guys, so he's been a massive help to fill in my time as well. So that's the reason it's so great to have him on the channel and talking about that. So very, very good.
Yeah. Like I said, guys, go check these guys out, Ash and Brody. They're legit, man. They're legit, and the other stuff, the NRL content that they got. So and subscribe to our brother Ash. Get him up to 1.5 minimum. Push definitely for 2K by the end of the season minimum. Ooh. So let's get that brother there. But anyway, guys, we'll leave it there. Watch along. I don't think there's going to be a watch along this weekend, guys. Unfortunately, I'm going away, so just everyone have a break. But once I get back, I'll finish my assignment. It's got to be handed in tomorrow, and then going away with the family for the Matariki weekend. Once we get back, we'll get back to watch-alongs. But enjoy your weekend of Warriors footy. Hopefully have a lot to talk about when we come back next Monday night. But otherwise, guys, have a great time. Enjoy your week. Build into it. Everyone in the members in the Discord will catch up. All our first graders hopefully get some time to talk. But otherwise, enjoy your week, guys. Anything last from you, Ash, before we bounce?
Nah, guys. Up the Maroons, baby. Up the mighty Maroons. Let's go, baby.
Up the underdogs. The underdogs. They're always underdogs, these guys, aren't they? Okay. See you guys. Peace.
Otherwise.